I'm not a singer, so why do I have to sing? Do a Google search on the words "why sing" and you will find about 638 million results. For today, we're going to focus on how singing will help your oral, theory, analysis, and performance skill. But singing will pretty much help every other aspect of your life as a whole. So get singing. So how does singing help? Your own voice is the instrument most closely related to your own hearing or listening. There is a powerful connection between your ear and your singing voice. Training your ears without your voice is possible, but it's like doing up your shoelaces with one hand tied behind your back. And I want every musician to reach their full musical potential. So sing. Singing scales and modes, intervals, melodies and chords is the quickest way to internalize and memorize their sound. Singing is the first step to transcribing what you hear. For example, as you listen to transcription exercises, focus on understanding the notes you are to transcribe, the tonality, the important notes, the shape, the range, etc. Try to memorize it. Once it is in your memory, you can hear it as many times as you like. Once you have it memorized, sing it. This simple act of singing a melody and really hearing what you're singing greatly simplifies the transcription process. Use inner hearing or audiation, which means sing in your head instead of out loud, along with a system of note spelling, Tonic, Solfa, and you have it made. You don't need to be a good singer. You need to sing in tune. So, what's the process? First, we hear the music. Then, we sing the music. Then, we play the music. As many famous musicians and music teachers throughout the ages have said, if you can't sing it, you can't play it. So, what do I sing? Your singing is only as useful as you make it. Should I sing with the words? Or on la? La, 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 la. But that doesn't tell me anything about the notes I just sang. Scale degree numbers are useful for labeling scale degrees. Remember, our goal is to find spelling of musical words, so we know how to write them down. This means that the spelling of certain sounds, think words, should always remain the same, so we know how to spell them. Let's look at the word created by the first three notes here. We could sing them as 1, 2, 3. Great. So now we know the sound of 1, 2, 3. This is the way we'll spell that word. Now let's have a look at the minor scale that begins on the same note, C. Here we have the first three notes of C minor. We could sing them as 1, 2, 3. Great. So, but wait. We spelled this sound as 1, 2, 3. But now we're singing this sound as 1, 2, 3. it shouldn't have different spelling, should it? And please don't use flat 3, 1, 2, flat 3, as C minor is not related to C major. It is related to E flat major, and therefore the third note is found within the scale of C minor and is not altered or flattened. Sorry, pet rant. Scale degrees do not give you a way to spell the notes. They do not help develop a musician's tonal, intervallic, or harmonic understanding, and are only actually useful for practicing scale degrees themselves. So yes, scale degrees can be sung to help practice scale degrees. So what about letter names? We all know letter names, so let's just sing those, shall we? Remember, again, our goal is to find spelling of musical words, so when we hear them, we know how to write them down. So let's look at the word created by the first 3 notes here. C, D, E. Great. And again, here we have the first 3 notes of C minor. We could sing them as C, D, E flat. Bit messy? Okay, there is a way of singing letter names by adding an S sound to all flats. So E flat becomes S, C, D, S. And all sharps have an ES sound added. So F sharp would be fees. Still messy though? The other problem with singing letter names is when we do, we are only practicing or learning that actual key, unlike Tonic Solfa, which practices all major keys at once or all minor keys at once. Singing in letter names is still important as it reinforces academic knowledge about that particular key. For example, the key signature, as well as helping you to develop what we call relative pitch, which is the learned version of perfect pitch. So do make sure you always sing the correct pitch when singing in letter names, or your ears will learn the wrong pitches for the notes. We refer to letter names as absolute pitch. They never change. C is always C and will always sound like C. Moving on now to fixed Do Solfa. This is the one where C is always Do. But if C is always Do, and we already have a name for C, then why do we need another name? Moving on. How about tonal names? We could use those as our spelling, right? Tonic, supertonic, median. So, we are left with the best way to make your singing super useful. Tonic or moveable Do Solfa. It is simple. It improves all aspects of your pitch-related skills and knowledge, and it gives you a greater understanding of the music you are studying. Tonic Solfa is functional melody or relative pitch. It is a system of spelling in the same way as the alphabet is a system of spelling in the English language. In Tonic Solfa, every note within a scale is given a name based on its relationship to the other notes within that key. For example, the tonic of a major key will always be called or spelled Do. The dominant of a major key will always be called or spelled So, and the mediant of a major key will always be called or spelled Mi, and so on. It's called functional solfa as each name represents the function of that particular note. For example, The function of T, the leading note, is to lead to Do. If our goal is to find spelling of musical words so we know how to write them down, then let's have a look at the first 3 notes here. We could sing them as Do, Re, Mi. So that is how we would spell the word Lu, Lu, Lu. Let's have a look at the minor scale that begins on the same note. Remember I said earlier that the tonic of a major key will always be called or spelled Do? Well, what note is the tonic of the major scale that has this as a key signature? Yep, it's E flat. And look, here are the first 3 notes of E flat major. Do, Re, Mi. But we are not in a major key, we are in a minor key. And we can see that in this scale, where E flat is Do, that the tonic is now La. The first 3 notes of this scale sound like this. La, Ti, Do. So that is how we would spell Lu, Lu, Lu. In other words, when you hear Lu, 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 you know it can be spelled as Do, Re, Mi. But if you hear Lu, 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 you will know it may be spelt like this. La, Ti, Do. The study of tonic solfa enables the musician to audiate, or mentally hear, the pitches of a piece of music which he or she is seeing for the first time, and then to sing them out loud. Each solfa name is only used for that one note. So is always the dominant of a major key. If an alteration is needed, there is a different name for the note. For example, So would become Si. Tonic solfa improves recognition of intervals and strengthens the understanding of theory. The fact that every note relationship to each other remains the same regardless of tonality is one of the most important aspects of tonic solfa. It means that Do to So is always a perfect fifth. Do to Mi is always a major third, and so on. The syllables used in solfa were designed to be sung, unlike letter names, scale degrees, and so on. And therefore, they are designed to help you stay in tune. Using solfa, students will begin to hear music, to really hear music, notes and phrases in solfa, and so are well on their way to becoming truly musically literate.